Somebody that's been a huge pop sensation or rock or artist or influence out there. Everybody knows her and a lot of people love her, but there's a lot of fans who are giving SNL a little hate over her. So can we talk about Chappell Roan? Now I'll say this, like, she has been blowing up everywhere. I feel like this last album that came out, she's a new album coming out, whatever's doing it, it's working for her, and people are just like a fanatic for it, you know. But this big thing came forward. Bowen Yang was on SNL, 33 years old. This guy's been there for a while. He was performing a character on Weekend Update called Moo Ding. And in this, he was talking about how he's fatigued and he needs to get away and he's a moment and he's talking about boundaries, and everyone was getting kind of up in arms about this. Now, I would say when you watch the whole sketch, he goes in about Chappell Roan and he says, like, leave her alone. These same things will happen to her. And so they were kind of making fun of like what she said. And here's her Instagram post, because she had a lot of backlash with fans coming after her. There was an incident just at the Grammys, I think it was, where there was someone trying to take a picture of her and she said, get that camera on my fucking face. And, you know, she's just like really not loving the paparazzi, not loving, like, she had a mental health breakdown where she had to take some time away and she just needed a mental health break. And so she canceled some shows and people were like kind of upset about it. And this was kind of a lighthearted joke from SNL. She was just on SNL not too long ago. So I think there wasn't any ill will here, but fans are going nuts about SNL. But here's her post. Instagram, she wrote, when I'm on stage, when I'm performing, I am at work. Any other circumstance, I am not in work mode. I don't agree with the notion that I owe a mutual exchange of energy, time, or attention to people I do not know. And so the fans are going nuts, being like, leave her alone. You shouldn't be attacking her. She needs to take a break. She's a fantastic artist. She's 26 years old. She's been blowing up the industry. It's a lot for someone at that age to actually be this popular. But I will say this, just to be a little bit of a, you know, devil's advocate. This is the job part of it, though. It's tough. It's a job. You're going to have people coming after you all the time. It's hard to navigate that shit. It's going to be hard to navigate that. It's only get worse for her, too. So I think for her, she's got to take a moment to figure out what that's going to mean, because I don't think she expected to be where she's at, and people love her so much that you're going to have more stuff like this happen. You're going to have some crazy fan stuff's going to happen. That happened to Madonna, happened to a lot of people. Or does, yeah, Rachel does. Yeah, she does.
That was the point.
That's the point. But I would say it's part of the job. But again, I don't think like that the fans are going nuts, like, leave her alone. Bowen Yang actually put a post out there on social media being before, like, you know, support her. She deserves mental health breaks. I think this got blown out of proportion. They're supposed to be supporting her, I think, too. I get it. People say it's too close to home. But Rachel, what do you think? I mean, you're a big fan of this. You clearly love her. Do you think that SNL went too far? And is it warranted for all the fan backlash that's been blowing up social media?
I think people have a very parasocial relationship with Chappell Roan. Because of the way she came up and how fast she came up, people feel like she's their like actual friend or somebody they actually know, which is a really unhealthy way for a fan base to function. She came up so fast. I've been listening to her for a little bit over a year, but I'm also part of her main demographic community. I'm a lesbian. I'm within the lesbian community. She blew up among us long time ago. But the general populace kind of found her this summer, and she's really just become huge just since, what's that big music festival?
What was it? The one in the desert? Was it Coachella?
Coachella. Just since the Coachella, she's really just blown up. So it's like, it's not even just been like about 3-4 months that she's been in this like level of fame that she just was not expecting to come out of anywhere. Like, she was dropped by her label before this. So
I know that.
She was not expecting to get this kind of level of stardom, to be performing at the VMAs, to be getting awards, to have all of this thrown upon her so fast. And it's really kind of shows you the power of social media, because you have one thing blow up on TikTok and all of a sudden you're everywhere. And I think it's really difficult when you're put in that position from being dropped by your label, thinking this is your last album you're going to put out. You're going to be maybe niche famous among the gay community. You'll perform at small festivals and gay bars and stuff like that, to performing in front of stadiums. It's huge. It's so
massive.
fast. And I don't think her team was ready for it, so they didn't give her the kind of media training that stars like Sabrina Carpenter get coming up.
Right. And she's in that same boat with her, kind of blowing up the same time, too.
Yeah. But Sabrina Carpenter was also a child actress in Disney. She was through the Disney pipeline.
Yeah.
So she has had most of her life, she's had all this media training. She's a Nepo baby, so she has family that has media training. Chappell Roan's nobody from Tennessee. So she's just speaking her mind, and I think anyone who is surprised by the things that she's saying and doing haven't been paying attention.
Do you think that this sketch will have any kind of ramifications at SNL? Are they gonna have to make an apology or something like that? Do you think?
She has a sense of humor, and I watched the sketch and I didn't see anything that was terribly offensive about it.
And she didn't say anything about it either, did she? I didn't see anything or her say anything
she
about
hasn't
it.
made a statement on it, and she's scheduled to be on SNL in a few weeks, so I don't think she's going to cancel that.
I doubt it.
But it's hard. It's hard to go from nothing to everything all at once. And there's going to be a growing period. There's going to be an adjustment period. And I think the calls of, well, you just need to quit or you just need to not be a part of it are just so unnecessary. Like, these people race to grow.
Yeah.
Especially when they weren't expecting this kind of thing. When
Not
you're
at all.
expecting gay fame because there's never been a lesbian pop artist that big, it's not even in your mindset that you could be this big.
And she blew up huge. I see Jonathan in some of this. She blew up massively, and I think that she wasn't ready for this kind of fame. Jonathan, do you agree with Rachel about this? Do you think that, she wasn't, we should give her support because she didn't really know, she wasn't really ready for this fame. She lost her label. All this stuff kind of blew up on her. Or do you think that she should understand this comes with the job and these things will happen and you can't stop the machine of the fans?
Can you give me a rating for the show? What's the rating? You know what? I'll
we're NC-17 for sure.
I'll use the letter. First of all, I don't know who the F that is or what the F y'all are talking about. I have no idea what that was. When I saw that picture, I thought, oh, it's Rachel. She's on stage dressed as Snow White, but her makeup's and her costume's a little off. Okay, got it. So she's this big star. I don't understand. But what I will say is this. I heard Rachel say something to the effect of, okay, she's a new, lesbian artist, whatever. I could give you a million names, but do you remember Melissa Etheridge?
Oh, yeah. But she wasn't like a high-level pop artist. Pop is the genre I'm talking about. She was more of like an adult contemporary sort of situation or adult alternative. But she was huge among Lilith Fair. Let's not forget Lilith Fair. We cannot forget our roots.
I can't forget anything I've never heard of. I can't forget anything I've never heard of.
It was more of a niche sort of situation.
Here's my thing. Remind me what the hell you're talking about with this chick?
What's
the issue?
The issue is
people have an issue with her not handling fame entirely, perfectly, immediately.
In what way? What is your evidence for that?
She came out on social media complaining about how she needs
TikTok and stuff saying, hey, I need you to respect my personal space, which I think is perfectly reasonable. I think that people have like a really bad relationship with expecting things out of celebrities.
Yeah, and she was saying, but Jonathan, she was saying that she's a performer on stage.
A lot bigger than she is.
Who's a lot bigger than her?
K.D. Lang.
K.D. Lang is amazing.
Yeah, but Chappell Roan she's like really blowing up right now, especially Gen Zers, right? Massively. And I think that what happened with Jonathan with her is that she went in this post. She had to cancel a bunch of dates because she said she wasn't ready for this kind of fame she's getting. People are kind of coming after her outside of being on stage. And she said, that's not right. She's I'm a performer on stage. That's my job. But outside of that, pretty much leave me alone. That's not my job. I shouldn't have to deal with the fans pretty much. That's kind of a thing that she's saying. But that's part of the job. That's what I say too, but it's tough because she's young. She doesn't understand this.
I just want to clarify for GR in the chat and Jonathan, I'm not saying there haven't been other lesbian artists. I'm saying she overtly sings about lesbian sex in pop music, and it's hitting airwaves really hard.
Yes.
I get that. So you're saying she sings about things that most people in that particular audience haven't heard before. And so they connect to it and they relate to it and they want to engage. Right. And in the age of social media, engaging is easy. But she's saying, I'll create this art, I'll create this music for us, for you, whatever. But I don't want to engage with you guys. I just want to create my art. Right? Is that what I hear?
Well, she's fine
It's just-
engaging with her fans to an extent, but there was a really big problem with stalking. People looked up her parents' address. They showed up at her sister's house. Like, there's a limit.
Yeah.
I agree with you. There comes a point where an artist who is famous, you know what? If you really want to meet them, then buy a VIP ticket.
Right.
If you're a fan. If you're an artist and you really want to avoid people who are that, what's the word, obsessed with you, then offer affordable VIP tickets.
Right.
Make it easy to access you in the times and places that you say this is where you can access me, and then make it very difficult, if not illegal, to access you in the places that you're not looking for that accessibility. And sometimes that includes a gated community or a gated driveway or personal and professional full-time round-the-clock security. The trade-off there is you are being celebrated. You are making an impact. You are living a dream. So there's a bit of a trade-off. I'm not saying complete trade-off.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a trade-off there. So yes, you can set up ways that people can access you in a controlled environment. But at the same time, you still deserve your privacy because you're a human
absolutely.
being. I'm not
Her
arguing.
fame
I'm just
came
saying
up
that's how I would
100%.
solve that problem.
Her fame came up virtually overnight, so there just wasn't time to put those things in place.
There's
before
always
people were
time to
stalking
put
her.
those things in place as long as
Yeah.
you have the money. There's always time.
Right.
You call
But
up
you
the
don't
security
get
company
your
and you
paycheck
say,
immediately in Hollywood or in
Yeah.
the music industry. You don't get them the next day. There's like
Correct.
a little bit of a delay there.
correct, nor do they fulfill invoices, or do you need to send
Right.
invoices immediately? So everybody works on the 90-day or less promise of getting paid.
And that's fair.
If
I
you
think
feel
in a lot of
unsafe,
ways
call security.
her team failed her.
Do you see like the chat's really coming after her, like saying like grow a backbone and stuff like that, and you're gonna get that from some people too, because they're gonna say like that's what comes for the job. But you're right, Jonathan. There is a whole, look at Taylor Swift, but she's had to deal with stalkers and stuff like that, multiple people arrested, and she's had extra security and all that. That all comes with it. When you
She's
become a
got
celebrity.
the entire machine behind her, though.
But can you really compare, and this is a real question, can you really compare, what's her name, Chaperone, to Taylor Swift?
I thought you said chaperone. That's like you're saying chaperone.
Yeah, Chappell Roan is not at a
don't know
Taylor
her
Swift
name.
level
I don't know
yet.
her
I love
name.
it.
But you can
I love
compare
it.
her to like an Olivia Rodrigo or a
Yes,
Sabrina Carpenter.
I certainly could compare to both of those people. Yes, I could.
I think the big
She's
question
like
on our mind right now, though, is
They are.
what does Thirsty Daddy think about Chappell Roan? Because I feel like he's listening to her all the time, right, GR? She's your favorite new
right,
uprising artist.
So does Pink
You know,
Pony.
She's a kid, 26 years old. I mean, she needs to grow up a little bit. Her maturity or lack thereof is showing in a lot of the ways, but she didn't take a shot at Saturday Night Live. I mean, that skit didn't do anything. It was a few comments, but it wasn't taking her down. She needs to go. Yeah, she got fame quickly. A lot of people do. They don't all cry about it. You don't like what's going on, step back from it.
And that's what she's trying to do, but her fan base, though, is going kind of crazy about this SNL sketch.
Her fan base are the ones causing the problems. She's trying to take a break, and they're like mad at her about it.
And that's tough shit on the fans. But if she really wants to get away, you do what somebody in this chat, well, a few people in the chat have said, hire some security, and you can stop it.
Can I say one more
Not
thing?
completely, of course.
Yeah. You gonna battle GR on this?
Well, it's not a battle. It's not a battle. If anything, I'm kind of with him.
I like it.
I'm kind of with him. When any of us set out to be professional artists, whether it's acting, comedy, music, tap dancing, whatever, roller skate dancing, whatever it is, okay? don't we all kind of have this hope in the beginning that we will be rich and famous? We do, right? We do.
Oh yeah, of course.
So
we hope,
if we reach that level, and then at some point we're like, oh, this is too much. My solution, and this is from my perspective. I don't live this gal's life, and I feel for what she's going through, and I'm sure it's very, very stressful, and I mean that, and I hope she finds what she needs. But I'm saying, I feel like if there comes a point where it's like, oh, I'm done with this, then I need to have a conversation with myself where I say, well, I could have gotten that degree in accounting. You know, I could have done something outside of entertainment, but I followed my dream. And I did something that everybody who knows me either lied to me about, or maybe they believed in me, but they didn't believe in me 100%. But oh, you can make it, or, yeah, you're really good, but have you considered nursing? Whatever that is, she made it. And so if that means that one thing she has to deal with is adoring fans, then deal with it. You have the resources to deal with it. Doesn't mean you should ever feel unsafe.
Never feel unsafe. Never.
But deal with it. There are things that you can do to solve that problem. Talk to people who were in your boat when they were your age. Madonna, Lady Gaga, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
I got the fame at the age younger, Jonathan.
Go ahead.
And I had to deal with it. I dealt with it.
You were a famous female lesbian pop star when you were younger?
That's what I said. But fame in any form, I was 20 years old, 21 when I became the second rated show in the islands in radio. And in
Hawaii.
Yeah. A big 6'9" in Honolulu, Hawaii. And late night rock and roll. But that was a long time.
Is that him? Is that GR in that picture?
That's it right there.
Yeah, that's so me, darling.
Who is this? Who is this that we're looking at?
That's the young lady we're talking
Chappell Roan.
about. Chappell Roan.
Yeah.
I need to brush up.
What I was saying is, when
Pink
you go,
party.
It looks like Rachel with a perm. Sorry, GR, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that when you can't go out in public to dinner, and I couldn't, my date and I would go to dinner, and people were walking over asking for autographs and whatnot. And sometimes it sucks.
You loved every second of it.
GR was a baller.
Every
Hawaiian baller.
second of it. GR, you loved it. You loved signing every letter.
I did. I admit I did for a while. But I understand what she's talking about. It gets to be too much.
Yeah.
When you can't get through a dinner, fame is great. But it can be a pain in the gluteus maximus.
Oh, I agree. And you know what? That is information. That's information for you. So that says maybe don't go to Applebee's.
Yeah, I mean, you have to figure out where you can go, where you can't go. But I think with her, though, she's just really been, honestly, she came up really fast. People love her so much. She's this big sensation. John, they got to check it out. What's the song? Pink Party? Pink something?
Pink Pony Club.
Even Brian doesn't even know.
Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club. That's the one song I heard.
I'm the only cultured person on this show, apparently.
I've heard some of their songs, and Pink Pony Club is good. I like that song. And but I don't. But like I'm just saying, you blow up that fast. You gotta learn. There's stuff that said you're gonna have to figure out because you're not gonna be safe from some people. Some people are fucking nuts. Some people try to stalk you. It's nuts.
I'd like
it's
to
crazy.
go to a point Jonathan made about when you start on your creative endeavor, your goal might always be to be a superstar. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think there's a lot of people who want to be that mid-level, low-level working artist, but don't want to achieve superstardom. They want to live basically a normal life, but pay their bills creating art. And I think maybe that's more of what she was going for and what she expected.
And then it became something completely different.
I would agree with you. I would agree with you to a point. Oops. Sorry. Oh, am I? Okay. I would agree with you to a point because the moment you realize, oh my gosh, I can be booked at Coachella or whatever, and it's going to pay me this much money and this many people or whatever. Oops. All right. Maybe it's time for me to slow down. If I'm getting too big and I don't want to go bigger, then I need to slow down.
When she was booked
Yeah.
at Coachella, she was booked on one of the small side stages. That they put
Oh, what? She wasn't one of the main ones. I'm surprised she was one of the main ones. Well, she can want that though. She can want that.
A lot of working artists do festival circuits. They're just on the little itty bitty side stages that they put on between the
I
big
like
acts.
Chumbawamba too.
I'm talking in general. Like I think if she warrants a conversation now and as much attention as she's getting, she's probably magnificent and she should be
Very talented.
superstar. I think to your point, if you're saying she was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to become a musician, but I don't want to become a superstar. I want to make $35,000 a year. Maybe I won't have insurance, but that's what Obamacare is for. Like, I don't feel like that's the dream. It might be a goal, but I don't think it's the dream, right?
Maybe deep down inside, maybe not. But that's always something that can happen, Jonathan. Like that, you know what I mean? You can't control
like
fame.
$70,000, $80,000, $100,000 a year, like just enough to be comfortable, but not superstardom. Like,
I think anybody that thinks that is not being true to their dreams. Nobody gets into this business hoping that they'll only make $100,000 a year. But the other thing I was going to say is this: I think it's also up to her and the people who are her, let's call it superiors, whatever, like
her handlers.
No. The other big,
like you talking about like her agents or the studio.
No.
I mean, or should I say the record label?
I'm talking about the other celebrities like Melissa Etheridge, or as I've said, Lady Gaga, Madonna, Katie Lang. These people should come to her and say, "Hey, now that you're in this ballpark."
Lord's been helping her with a lot.
Who?
Lord.
That's a whole different Jonathan.
The
Lord's
Lord
fantastic,
has
by the
been
way.
helping her.
Not the Lord. Lord has.
She had a few really big songs in the 2010s.
But I will say this: you can't stop success. I'm going to say you can't stop success. I know Jonathan said before it's like about how you don't come into this business not to be a celebrity, but some people might.
The genie back in the bottle, and she's got to find a way to cope with it.
Exactly.
And I think that's what it comes down to. I think she put her talent out there. Her talent was a bigger star than she ever imagined to be. Now at this point, she's got to navigate forward, get security and all that. There'll be more people that are be chasing after her. And bravo. And I'm happy for her because honestly, talent deserves to be shown.
Yes,
and it does.
To be paid and to be paid.
Yeah,
so
I agree with both sides. She needs help figuring it out, but I also have empathy for her situation.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the pep star needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.